Donna Maria Bordeaux from To Live For, and this is the one and only Jen Fox.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for your sharing your precious self and your precious time. And I wanted to ask you a few questions. One is, what inspires you? What gives you the courage and the strength to follow your heart and your passions to create a life to live for?
Okay. I think what creates my drive and passion to live my true spirit and authentic life is that I'm just trying to find the right word. This is the only shot we get in this spirit body, in this time frame. And joy is our birthright. And that I feel that to live in joy is a choice and it's an action. It's not by luck or chance. That you don't have to have a ton of money to be joyful. You don't have to live in a certain house to be joyful. You don't have to have the prestige and any type of fame to be in joy and full happiness. That it's to understand your heart and live from that space. So I feel that like the drive that I have is that I just know that it is how I want to model for my children, and I really enjoy being happy, and I don't feel like that I need to wait for it. That it's now. It's in this moment.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh. And what are your passions?
I have so many passions. So right now, my passion is yoga, meditation, circling with women and doing retreats with women. My other passions is animals, horses, especially, and the powerful beings that they are. My other passion too is moving into simplicity and getting rid of all of my material possessions and living with what I just need for life. So I don't need to have all these paintings in my house or all these clothes in my closet, that I have just what I need. And it's a very freeing feeling, and I'm really enjoying that exploration of living in a space of fullness with not a lot of stuff. And I'm finding that that minimalist lifestyle has created so much more bounty in experience because I'm not weighed down by physical stuff. So I'm really having a good time investigating that lifestyle, and it seems to be working for me. I've been traveling that journey for about 4 years of getting rid of things, and I'm coming into this stage now of selling our house and moving into a much smaller house and finding so much freedom in simplicity.
It's very liberating, isn't it?
So liberating.
It's a lot of hard work. You inspire me because I'm working on all of those things, and it's so hard, and I'm such a sentimental person. So how do you let go of some things that do accumulate and create more clutter and more things, but they're very sentimental? So how do you let go of those things?
Well, I think it's an individual examination. So I mean, like, what is good for you is different for me and vice versa, and you have to be honest with yourself. I grew up with parents that never threw anything out, and I see how that has still affects them in this life that they're in, and I don't want that. So there's certain things that I am definitely tied to. So it would be like my children's pictures, their little paintings. And so what I do is I've made 3 piles. So I've like 3 totes for them. And I go through it every year. And it's interesting how every year I can get rid of more and more and more, to the point that I know that I'm going to have like a small folder for each of them.
Wow.
And same with my things that were passed down from generation after generation to me. I had china sets that were given to me that were my grandmother's, and we don't eat off of china. And I almost felt like it was disrespectful that here I have all of this china in my attic collecting dust. Nobody's using it. It's not seeing the light of day. And so it wasn't really honoring my ancestors, my grandmother at all, being stuffed in a closet. So I decided to donate it because somebody else then would use it and she would be honored by it being used. Or if somebody even smashed it and made it into a mosaic, it's still being honored and used.
Instead of sitting and collecting dust, it's so much of it is how you look at something.
Exactly. So I really looked at that as not as something that I was giving away, but I was actually gifting it to somebody else that would use it. And it takes time to get to that place. I have a great example of, I went and cleaned my bookcases 2 years ago. I cleaned out my bookcases, and every 5 months I go back to the bookcase. And up until really this year, I went to clean it out, and I got rid of so much more stuff, and I couldn't believe that, wow, I kept these things because they were important to me, and now they're not. And as we go on and on and on, I think that it's just like a peeling onion. You just get it's layer after layer after layer of what you really need. So the other day I was looking in my closet and I was like, geez, I really only wear like 10 pieces. The rest is just filling it up for that one time I might throw on that jacket. I'm like, do I really need it? So I'm contemplating that now. I don't know. Might get rid of it.
It is. It makes you feel lighter. And I know when I'm being creative, whether it's writing or meditating or creating a dance or creative endeavors, when things are more spacious, the spaciousness around you, that helps me to be able to be more focused in that creative energy.
Yeah, I believe that's so to be true. When I find more that creativity is born not in clutter. Creativity is born with some clarity and some space. So my life has really taken off in all directions just by getting rid of things.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, the energy now has a place to move. The creative energy, the collective energy of our family, of the things that my husband wants to do, is what my children want to do. There's space in the home for expression and for
it's beautiful.
For breath. And so that has been my passion really right now, is finding that minimalist lifestyle attached to the yoga and the meditation, because the yoga, I think, really teaches you that the things that you really need in your life are right here, and you carry that with you all day long, and that the stuff that you collect doesn't really touch this space, that inner kingdom inside of you. It's just stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. And how do you keep your energy so positive and your joy so alive and your vibration elevated with all the challenges of life?
That's a really good question too. I think my deep spiritual beliefs that I firmly, truly believe that every single one of us were birthed for a divine purpose. And that divine purpose doesn't mean that you need to sell millions of books and be on the movie screen or be Oprah. But the little things that we do in life, be it a patch of a garden, or you volunteer at a community center, the little efforts that we make are so important for the joy in life that, I know, I dug a pond in my property, and it was just a barren space, and it was calling that it needed to be a pond. And so we dug a pond, and now I don't know how fish got in there, but there's fish in there. We didn't stock it. Fish are in there.
That's so cool.
Frogs are in there. Giant turtles are in there. The blue heron flies in and takes and eats the poor frogs, but flies off.
That
And
gives me goosebumps. Like you created this beautiful space.
And, I look at that and I say, maybe that was my purpose, to create that pond for the heron to find lunch. It's as simple as that. And I'll never know if that was it, but I continue to move every day, that today is the day I walk in my purpose. And I find so much joy in that. And I think that's what feeds me, is that I truly believe that spirit, universe, God, goddess, whatever you want to call that energy, I was brought here for a purpose that is beyond sadness. I wasn't here to be put on this earth to be sad. I was here to spread joy, love, vitality, and just live in joy. Because that's what spirit wants for us.
I agree. It reminds me of the first time I ever met you at Ashley and Chris's wedding, and when we danced together, and it was just total pure joy. Just total
connection.
And connection.
Yeah. Old connection.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you with all my heart.
Oh, thank you.